reminding you this Valentine's Day, the gift that truly says I love you is window tinting. Adam Carolla.
It's practical, man. All right. Lots of show going on today. First, before we get into all sorts of stuff, made the pilgrimage back to Malibu yesterday. Took a videographer, a person who's very handy with the video camera and the drones, and made my way in to Malibu, which is not the easiest. I had some like insurance papers or something like that that would let me in. The roads, Pacific Coast Highway is blocked off.
Wow.
It's crazy. Now the water is back on, so that I figured out. When I pulled up to my place, I turned on the hose and water's on, but there's no power on. Now, there is no timeline. There's no official city anything timeline. So I'm over a month, and I thought I was going to be staying in a hotel for 5 days, not bivouacking at Dr. Drew's house for a month, but now I'm shifting.
How's the fridge?
The fridge was cleaned out.
Lucky you.
I talked to attorney Mark Garagos. He offered up his guest house. Told him maybe I'll bounce over to his guest house at some point. But either way, me and Andrew, who was doing all the video work, went up to the roof of my place, flat roof, and we went up there, and he launched his drone, and he took drone footage, and we sort of whacked it together, and this is PCH. So this is Pacific Coast Highway. This is along the water side. This is directly in front of where I live. And it is some of the most expensive real estate in the world, and it is gone, baby, gone.
Look like Gaza.
Down to the ground. Yeah, it's very Gaussian.
Gaza-esque?
Like, very Gaza-esque. Now, it's now the thing that's weird, as I'll sort of narrate, is everything is melted and everything's down to the ground. There's nothing left, but it clears up at the beach club. The beach club, which I'm a member of, is untouched. Completely and utterly untouched. It did nothing, and then the fire, and then it came again. Now
your local watering hole has been spared.
We took vid going down PCH, and it is buildings that are untouched and then just total devastation. Wow. So everything down PCH is completely gone, and then stuff gets untouched, and then it's gone again.
I wonder why. Yeah, they just hiccup right over top of your house. Granted, yours was built like concrete, but some other wood houses are.
I got the back hill of my house. The back hill was burnt down. Everything in front of my house is burnt down. This is a Porsche 928 carcass that was burnt to the ground, by the way. Risky business car for those
I
who
can clean
don't
up
know.
that title, but don't worry about it.
And then it's just sort of eerie stairways nowhere, just metal stairways just hanging out over the ocean. Everything down to the ground. It's been over a month. There's zero cleanup. There's nothing.
Zero?
You saw it. Nothing but rubble. Zero attempts at cleaning.
They're afraid to push poison to the ocean.
Toxic, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so it is now over a month. There is no cleanup attempt. There is no official Gov website you can go to for any kind of timeline about when the power's going to be on. There's just nothing. Dude. So the answer, when people go, when can you get back to your place? The answer is no goddamn idea.
It just occurred to me.
They don't even float ideas. It's just, no.
It just occurred to me that they burned down the wrong neighborhood. I feel like Adam Carolla's on the warpath.
Well, my place was saved. I got up on the roof of my place and I took a vid just with my phone from the roof, and you can go to Carolla.com and see this. You can see everything that's in front of me is gone. Everything. And place down the hill, place next to me is gone. It's every other house up on the hill I'm on is gone. Everything in front is gone. It's random. It's crazy. So no timeline of any kind. That's what we've learned.
Survivor's remorse or whatever they call it. Surreal. It's surreal to be standing there amongst the rubble all around you, 360 almost, and your little castle is, it's all right.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, they're gonna. I don't know. I have the same reaction to not burning down as I do to burning down. Yeah. I'm just the same. I don't know why. Always been that way.
Very stoic of you.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
I mean, stoic suggests you're trying to be stoic. I didn't even try. I had the same reaction to when I thought my place had burnt down, which I did for a while, because there was a math. The math is a day after the fires. I told you guys, everything in front of you is gone. There was a restaurant that was down on PCH that was directly in front of me, gone. And then the hill behind you was gone. So you kind of do the math.
Yeah.
You're the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if everything from one end to the other end is gone and you're in between those two ends, then you're gone too. And then at a certain point, I said, I didn't know. So I said, it's 50-50. It's probably a coin toss, but I would take the coin toss. Like I would bet on a coin toss, but it's 50-50. And when you travel through the neighborhood and you go up and down Pacific Coast Highway in front of my place, it's about 50-50. Half the stuff is gone. The other stuff made it. But there were houses. So I would go on walks up the hill on a almost nightly basis. And I don't know, maybe we can find that house. I'm talking to Andrew now. I was talking about that sort of Asian-inspired place. It was for sale. I think it was on Zillow or whatever a couple months ago. But I used to walk up through the neighborhood on a daily basis. And if there was a house for sale, I'd always stop and walk through and check it out.
Yeah.
You know, comps, ex-carpenter, like to look at stuff. And there was this house that was sort of had an Asian motif to it. And I think they wanted like $6.8 million or something. And it was one of these houses that was just meticulously done. As a guy who did it for a living, I like walked through the place and like literally wanted to shake the guy's hand before I left. Like every bit, you know, like you can go to houses and you can look at stuff like switch plates. And the switch plates for the outlets or the switches, there'll be $10 million houses where they just have plastic Home Depot switch plates for 40 cents a piece. No class. You'll see, you can tell rain gutters. I've seen multi-million-dollar house with just stamped aluminum rain gutters, like, just sheet metal. And then there's bronze and they have leader heads and they have cast stuff. And you go, okay, those are the details. That means this person's meticulous. You can see when they put on a switch plate or they put on something that has like two screws in it, two slot head screws, they line them up so they both face the same direction, up or across.
Yeah, I'm just trying to rise up to be able to afford a gargoyle.
Yeah. So we got the lawn jockey. You just got to paint it white.
All right.
So I went through this house and I just looked at everything and I was like, oh man, so meticulous, like so well done.
Made of origami.
Yeah, I was like, it was sort of Asian inspired, but it wasn't,
overtly.
And I was like, man, whoever has this house got a lot of pride in it. And so as I was going up my street, it's catch as catch can. I have no idea what made it and what didn't make it. So I'm like going up the street going, man, I hope that Asian place is burned to the ground. Nothing there.
What about the koi fish? Are they
nothing?
Dead?
Koi,
alive?
gone.
All right.
Yeah, over rice. So that place down the ground had a metal roof.
Son of a
Had a metal roof, gone.
6.8. How much did Allstate give back for that? Maybe you can squeeze 7.2 out of them.
I have no idea how that's going to work. Then I went up a little further up the street. That's like this other place that was on the corner. They were refurbishing for like 2 years, and they finished it, and it was beautiful. And they did a chef's kiss. And I remember talking to the owners, going, "Man, you did a good job on this place. Like I can tell from the eye of a former carpenter." I was like, "You crushed it on this place." And they did every little detail on the outside of the house and down to the ground. Oh. Nothing there. These are like hill houses, so when they're gone, it doesn't look like they're gone. It just looks like there's hill. There's just nothing there. Then I'd go up the street a little further, and I was like, I wanted to buy this house. Gone. Neighbor next to it, gone. When I was telling you guys, I was telling everyone there was a few months ago, I said there was a house for sale up on the hill, and I went in there, and the realtor guy told me he sold it, and it was for sale in 2021, and I was explaining to him, no, that was 2020. I looked at it. It was during COVID, and he said, no, it was 2021. It turned out I was right about that. Gone. Still, for sale sign still sitting out there. The for sale sign didn't burn, but the house down to the ground. And then just random. And no signs of even beginning to clean anything up. It's just there. So I have no idea what the plan is. No one knows what the plan is, and they will not. If there is a plan, no one's sharing it. It's 2025. This is some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Los Angeles, and California always does we're at the tip of the spear of everything and information, everything. There is no place, there's no website you can go to online with some sort of official .gov, Palisades Fire thing that says like when the power's coming on, what the plan is, what the timeline is. There's nothing.
I never thought I'd say this to anyone until this moment right now. You should start a Facebook group.
A Facebook group.
Something like this, bud. Go to AdamCarolla.com and have a chat board for people who got displaced or need back and want back in their place. Don't even know what's going on. I feel like somebody needs to know. This is getting me fired up. And I don't even live in Malibu.
It is. It's bizarre. I mean, if someone so some people go, when are you moving back? I go, I don't know when the power's coming back. So, and no one knows and they won't tell you. So, also, as you travel, now he's showing me a house.
Yeah, and I'm guessing what the punchline of this is.
And I don't know why he's showing me a house with
nothing on the screen, guys.
Terracotta tile roof. When we stood over it, and I explained there was a metal roof on the house, and then we pointed, Andrew, at the metal roof that was down on the ground. But you're probably on the wrong street. But that's all right. We didn't get into it. We didn't get into it beforehand.
Oh, so. He's looking for the Asian-inspired place that was once there, and it's now no longer.
Well, it's wherever my place is. It's up about 200 yards on the left. Well, we just drove it, right? Okay.
All right, don't dox yourself right now.
What's that?
I said it looks like they updated Zillow.
So they got rid of everything that caught on fire.
Everything that's on fire, it looks like a wasteland just on Zillow.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Well, anyway.
Well, it is an aforementioned wasteland.
It is, and it was beautiful, and I feel bad for all those people. And I don't know. I don't know if they're insured to a certain amount.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't know if they're insured to an agreed upon amount. I don't know if the insurance is going to get to what they were asking for the house. I have no idea, but it is a shit show over there, and it's not going to be fixed anytime soon because for every one dude doing work, there's 5 dudes staring at him wearing a reflective vest.
Yeah.
So the city or the whatever, there is like in 2 miles, I passed 4 dudes working and 28 dudes watching 4 dudes working. They just stand there and watch dudes work. And I worked on a construction site for years, and that doesn't exist when you work on a construction site. Everyone works. This is like supervisor and regional supervisor, where they just watch one dude working. There's not one dumpster. There's no trash. There's no flatbeds. There's not one bulldozer or bobcat. There's no movement of any material. It has been, we're coming up on 40 days. And it's exactly as it was. Like Trump was out here a month ago or 3 weeks ago, and he was yelling at Governor Newsom and Karen Bass, like, start clearing these lots. Like, start today. Let's go. We'll do it tonight. And they haven't touched a thing.
What if Donald Trump shows up, executive action, bingo, bango, gets a bunch of California cleaned up, and wins over the populace?
Well, I'll be all for that. But we are pretty stupid. We may not go for this. All right. So, again, you can go to adamcrow.com. We'll show you the footage from the drone and whatnot. But it's
that's horrifying.
It's devastating. Yeah. It's total annihilation. It was either your house was either spared or destroyed. There were probably literally maybe 2 out of 80 structures that were partially damaged. It was either pristine or down to the ground. And they could be right next to each other. Weird, right?
Depending on the way the wind's blowing and what temperature your house burst at.
All right. So other things to think about I got to get into here. I've been thinking, that kind of looks like the place. We're looking at a picture of this place. Yeah, I think you found it, Andrew. It's got a metal roof. It's got a little. I remember them telling me they made a built-in jacuzzi, not like a fiberglass jacuzzi, like poured in place cement jacuzzi. Yeah. We're looking at this place
all gone
now. I mean, it was. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was a good job. It was magnificent. I walked through every square inch of that place, and I just stared at it, and I just kept telling the realtor what a great job they did with everything. Just beautiful. I mean, the kitchen was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. What was it? Was it like $6.8 million? Was it?
Came under. 5 something.
5.8?
Yeah, 5.7.
Oh, 5.7?
75.
5.7.
It's a steel now.
It's melted steel now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, it wasn't that big either. I don't know. Under 3,000 maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, beautiful. I don't know what else to say. Breaks my heart. Anyway, now, there's a thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
Sofas, furniture, couches.
Yeah.
They used to be sacred ground. Couches, let's just jump ahead. I had some guys doing some work back here. I'll leave their names out.
All right.
Good men. But they were doing some work back here before we had our Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And they stopped to go get lunch. And I turned the corner and I saw some tools sitting on my sofa. Now describe what you see there, Mayhem.
Well, I see a power drill. Looks like a DeWalt or some type. I'm not sure. The
power drill.
The hammer. Let me tell you, the hammer looks used. Looks like it's been used and in a murder and then a head replaced. I'll just say that about that. And then some type of dowel, I guess, some stabbing instrument like an ice pick.
Now, see, you would call that a pick or punch, but it's really an awl.
There we go.
An A-W-L.
An owl. Owl.
An awl. Now, the cordless drill has a masonry bit on it, which has been used, which means it's covered with masonry dust.
It's nasty.
The floor is concrete. It's a slab floor. The sofa is a newish crushed velvet light blue sofa. You could set your tools on the ground. You could. But instead you place them upon the newish sofa.
Oh, what? You mean 3 items from the Saw dungeon? Yeah, they go right there.
Okay. These aren't inherently bad people who did this. It's not their fault. First off, something happened to our relationship as Americans with sofas. I grew up in a day when people frequently covered their sofas with plastic. They had plastic slip covers on their sofas. My grandmother in South Philly had a sofa that was so precious to her that it had plastic.
Elyria, Ohio, grandma too. Yep.
Okay, it sounds like a punchline now. It's not. People took their sofas and they wrapped them in clear plastic. Now, and by the way, it was like a thick milled plastic.
I know.
It made a noise.
Yeah.
Your ass would stick to it when you got up. It made your thighs would sweat on it if you're wearing shorts. I mean, what could be more uncomfortable than a plastic sofa?
I just dreamed of the day that someday my status would rise high enough to get no plastic on the sofa.
Right, but we had plastic around the sofa. We had so much reverence for the sofa. We had so much respect for the sofa that we wrapped it in plastic. That's how precious. It was like the Mona Lisa at the Louvre Museum. We put it in a
bulletproof
lucite case.
Yes.
Lexan, probably. Now, the point is, we're now at the point where when one is finished, and by the way, think about the impunity. Here's what I'm saying. Nobody said before they broke for lunch, where is the guy who owns this sofa? Nobody said, where's Adam? And then someone went, oh, I think he's in Europe. No, Adam is here the whole time. Adam is in the back. I'm in the back working on stuff. I'm in there watching them work, helping them work, talking to them, and working, organizing, and getting ready for the party. They set everything on the newish cloth sofa, and then they went and got lunch. Almost like they were offering it to me. Now, people can go like, well, what's the big... Well, okay. In days of yore, everything's set on the ground, and then everything's set on the ground on a towel or a tarp or a furniture pad, like a work pad or whatever. But on the sofa, 2 sober, white, middle-aged, yeah, I said it, middle-aged men who are professionals both thought to break for lunch with the tools sitting on the sofa. Okay. Now, unthinkable in this nation's past. Unthinkable. You couldn't entertain putting your power tools on somebody's fabric sofa and then breaking for lunch and leaving.
Now,
couldn't happen.
Let me tell you, these professionals that you
By the way, the
speak of,
floor is not shag carpet. The floor is just slab. This is literally concrete. You just set it on the floor. Now, I would argue that you should put a beach towel down and put it on whatever the flooring is. You should do it. But set it on the middle of the sofa and left while I'm standing there. Okay.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Now, let me explain. There used to be a thing where if women started this, for some reason, the sofa, sitting in an orthodox style, sitting as a sofa was designed. A sofa is designed for your butt to sit on it, your back to lean against the back, and your feet to set on the ground. Mm-hmm. At some point, women decided not comfortable enough. I need to take my feet and my shoes and put them on the sofa with me. Sold down on the cloth. And whenever I walk in and I see people sit that way, I'm like, you just walked in from the parking lot. You just Where's your park? I parked down on Flower Street. Okay, you just parked down the street, and then you walked in, and then you walked across, and then you're putting both feet on the cloth sofa. Yeah, I'm comfortable. But by the way, is this comfortable? Shoving your knee up your ass?
Yogi. Yoga fire.
Look, if you want to kick your shoes off and put your feet up,
all right,
fine, but it's still kind of your smelly socks. But all right, it started with feet on the sofa. I'm convinced. I've seen it. It didn't exist. There was no world. There was no universe when I was a kid that I could go to my friend's house and plant myself on their sofa and just put my shoes up on their sofa. They would have tackled me.
I believe it started, I don't know, in the 60s, 70s with the famous poet Richard James, where he said, "Fuck yo couch."
Oh, really?
I think so.
That's a real
super
thing?
freaky. Yow. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
I'm very
You're
upset.
all fired up about the couch, man. These guys, were these workers professional installers of some sort?
Evidently not, because they put all their tools on the sofa and then left. But here's what I'm saying. You can set them on the ground. There is a floor. You can put them there.
Oh, my God. So make a note, towel down on the floor. Beach towel. I have one in my car.
No. It's not their fault. The reason it's not their fault is it's us as a society. This is a metaphor. We've lost our way.
But also,
we used to have a hierarchy. We used to have respect. We used to have reverence for things. You would never go. I told you one day I came home a few years ago and I walked in my front door of my house and my daughter's friend was roller skating inside of my house and just right down the hall, just went right past me, just trucking with their skates. Yeah, it was cool. And also eating. There was no world where I would have went to Chris Bohm's house or Ray Oldhofer's house. We didn't have furniture at my house. I mean, we had sheets over it because my mom would get the stuff that people threw away and then drag it in and go, "There's nothing wrong with this." Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got crabs and somebody killed themselves on it. But other than that, yeah, it's a good sofa.
Just one stain.
She would tuck a sheet into also fitted sheets, so it always looked like shit. Do you think there was a world? My kids' friends, I would come around the corner in the living room. They're sitting on the sofa with like a handful of salsa and a handful of chips, just kind of leaning back and eating. Like no tray, no napkins, just standing there freeballing it with chips and salsa, like slopping stuff off, wiping their, doing that on the hands, eating butter toffee, just crumbling. I'm like, what? Get a plate, get a tray. First off, what are you even in here? I'm doing full Chipotle order, plop it down on the sofa, just everyone's eating a leaky burrito and just said, when I was a kid, if I went into Ray or Chris's house and plopped down on their sofa and just started eating Mexican food with my hands, their mom would have come around the corner and started beating me with a flip-flop and screaming at me to leave and turned a fucking hose on me. There was no they would have yelled, "Go to the table, get to the table." You didn't even eat. You didn't eat on the sofa. You had to go to the table. You could eat at the table, then you could wash your hands, then you could go back and sit on the sofa. We lost reverence for sofas. Man. We had respect. They're like the statues we're tearing down of the founding fathers. That's what we did with the sofa. We used to revere the sofa. The history book said respect those sofas.
Throw away American culture. We don't build anything to last, so we don't.
I know
care.
It's all.
We throw it away.
I don't. Yeah. Blame IKEA. Everything's cheap. Everything's cheap now. We had one sofa. It lasted my entire life. My dad died with the same sofa.
People don't have respect for craftsmanship anymore.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm an uptight old man, but we do agree that you sitting on my sofa with both feet, soles of your shoes planted on the sofa is just weird etiquette, right?
Makes for a better Instagram picture.
And putting used tools, masonry tools on the sofa and then breaking for lunch is like, it's weird etiquette.
I'm
right?
sorry, Ace. The world is very brutal.
So we went from wrap it in plastic to cover it with DeWalt drills and masonry bits. Okay.
There's no in between.
Listen to me. I'm telling you, it started with the chicks who sit with their feet on the sofa.
Disrespect.
Someone should have walked up and just smacked them in the back of the head and went, get your fucking shoes off the sofa. We could have done that 22 years ago and solved this problem, but we all just looked the other way. And now we're here. Now we're here.
We are.
Where I'm at kids, everyone's just eating on the sofa. Everyone's eating. I would come walking in, there'd be 7 of my son's friends just eating Chick-fil-A. Just sitting on the sofa, just like spreading the sauce around. And okay. All right. And now we got tools on the sofa. All right. Other stuff to complain about. I got more stuff.
All right.
Okay. I've said it once, and I'm going to say it again. I want the interpreter to be the same sex as the person who is speaking. I did Dancing with the Stars with Marlee Matlin. She's a beautiful woman who has a dude interpreter.
Yeah.
It flies in the face of why you have an interpreter, because it bumps you. Because, okay, let me put this out there. What is the motivation for having an interpreter? Like, why have interpreters? And you go, well, so we can understand in our language what the person is saying in their language. Agreed. But there's also an element of wanting to think it is that person. For instance, when they dub a movie, they used to dub movies. There'd be, they dub them in English. They dub the Family Guy in English. Yeah, they do. They dub stuff. Well, you wouldn't dub. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger's, like, one of his first movies was like Samson in New York or something. He did a whole feature-length movie. They did a whole movie. I don't know. We can find a clip.
Yeah, it's
you
funny.
can find a clip of Schwarzenegger. It's like first movie was like Samson in New York or Hercules in New York or something like that. Okay. When they dubbed his voice, did they do it with a young female actress or they get some dude, Hercules, or they get a dude that sounded like that could be that dude? Do you know what I'm saying?
I know, totally, yeah.
Okay, why did they do that? Because they didn't want to bump you. I mean, you could tell it was dubbed. You could tell that wasn't Schwarzenegger's voice. Yeah. But they got a guy's voice who sort of approximated Schwarzenegger's look.
Like an animated film.
Yeah, so you would go along with it. Mm-hmm. If they used a female, this is going to be my point here. This is going to be my point. We're waiting for
like it down there. Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired of the same old faces.
That's Schwarzenegger.
The same old things.
Like it down there.
Let me be the judge of that. I am tired of the same old faces.
Wow, that's the original.
The same old things.
I like the original.
Well, now you're used to it. All right, but here's my point. An interpreter is just a version of the illusion of the movie, which is let us all think that this is what this person would sound like or who this person is if they were speaking a language we understood.
Makes perfect sense.
In the movie...
Are we still talking Hercules in New York?
No.
All right.
I'm getting to something. They did a movie. There was that Harrison Ford movie that had Sean Connery in it, the submarine movie. And in the submarine movie, which was...
The Hunt for Red October?
Yeah. I was thinking of Gray Lady Down, which is Charlton Heston, another submarine. Hunt for Red October, stop me if I'm wrong, fellas, they started talking in Russian.
Yeah.
And then they just turned into English.
Yeah, that was a good trick.
And it made your mind go, oh, now it's the same guy, but he's speaking English. But now I understand Russian. It's basically what it made your mind do. Fine, that's what translators need to do. But it's not going to work if you don't get the right sex.
I agree.
So the Japanese...
Well, in Japan, that's something they do. Because when I was fighting big time in Japan, they had a female interpreter with me. She was a nice lady who would walk around with a notepad, and I would say a big, long thing, and she would distill it down.
When you're fighting in Japan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of standard. They have a lady a lot.
Well, Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers had a dude.
Yep.
Didn't work out. But he had a dude.
Out for him a little bit.
Oh, we don't. Are we going to watch? All right,
this is dope.
Let's watch Hunt for Red October. It's a great device, is what it is.
All right.
We don't have any sound, but if we had sound, it'd be a great device. We always caught off guard with the sound.
Up.
They zoom in on his mouth.
And the seventh angel poured forth his bowl
in the middle of a soliloquy of a poem. All right, it's brilliant. Run it once again. Sorry,
that's not Tom Clancy.
Idu kaktac, blažen, botrosvujuši I kranjaši adježdu svaju. I on sabralek na mjesto, nazivajemaje po-evrijski Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured forth his bowl into the air, and a voice cried out from heaven, saying, "It is done."
Yeah. So it was perfect. Take the actor, speaks Russian, pulling tight on his mouth, switch to English. Okay. I can't do that with the Japanese prime minister.
Yeah.
So the Japanese prime minister was talking to Trump, and he was fielding questions and making comments, and this is what it sounds like. But look, is there a dude who speaks Japanese and English? And if so, can we hook him up with the prime minister? This is an important gig. And also, all right, we'll just play it. This is him at the White House.
We also held candid discussions on challenges the Indo-Pacific region is facing. We confirmed that we are resolved not to allow unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force or coercion, and to oppose such attempts in the East and South China Seas in order to fully defend a free and open Indo-Pacific.
It's a 65-year-old dude talking.
We also reiterated the importance of peace and stability.
All right, here's what I'm saying. What if this shit goes down with Japan and he's got to make a threat? What if China comes knocking? He's going to get up there and he's going to get his translator up there and he's going to be screaming, "We're going to crush you like a beer can." And she's going to be like, "We're going to, Mr. Eddie's father?
No, that's
we're going
it,
to
bud.
crush you like a beer
You don't
can."
understand Japanese culture as well as I do. I get it.
You get it.
Yeah, they put this nice lady as a flex. Like, look,
it's a flex.
We will say evil stuff. Mm-hmm. We will say the most dead-faced Japanese, like, samurai. Mm-hmm. But we're going to have a cute little girl tell you this bad news. But then they like it.
But how do you explain Shohei Ohtani then?
He's a sports star in America. He knows who his audience is. These guys are like, they're doing like a weird flex.
Well, then what about Marlee Matlin?
She has lesbian tendencies.
Marlee Matlin is weird because on Dance with the Stars, she's dancing with a dude.
Yeah.
And she's doing the sign thing, and the dude's like, "I felt the passion through his loins. He grinded on me. And all of a sudden, I was back in high school." And it's like, it's a dude. It's a dude's voice. Get a chick.
Yeah, you're right. I'm with you.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to be. Look, it's real easy. I'm not trying to put dudes out of work. I'm not trying to put chicks out of work. Let's just get her and hook her up with Marlee Matlin. We'll get Marlee Matlin's person to sign whatever, but they'll switch them around.
Be weird. It's going to be weird for her to learn American Sign Language when she only speaks Japanese.
All right, but what I'm saying is let's treat it like Hercules in New York.
You're right.
Or any movie where we dub. Let's not bump the audience.
But I
You're
hate to tell you,
bumping the
Google
audience.
Translate has got it pretty quick, where you can just talk into the thing in one language and it spits the words out there. You hit that up to Alex Trebek type voice modulator, and suddenly you have yourself a robot voice.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Baldwin was in this movie. I don't know what I said, Harrison Ford or something. Maybe he did the first Jack Ryan or whatever. I don't remember. All right. Kelsey Cook, stand-up comedian, is out there. We'll take a quick break, and we'll bring her in right after this. Morgan and Morgan. Well, a lot of people were impacted by the fires here in Los Angeles. I can tell you I'm one of those people because I've not been able to return to my home for, it's been over a month now, coming on a month and a half. So it's been estimated that the damage so far has totaled more than $250 billion. There are claims that insurance companies canceled thousands of homeowners' fire policies in the months leading up to the fires. Were those cancellations legal? Well, we're going to find out. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, has helped millions of families in their times of need. And I'd say now's the time of need. If your house burned to the ground, they were there for the PG&E wildfires and also the Maui wildfires as well. So this ain't their first rodeo. So now they can be here again to help you and your family. If you've been affected by the Los Angeles wildfires, it's Morgan & Morgan. Right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #law #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
Hey, it's almost Valentine's Day, people. Let's give her one she's not going to forget. That's right. Take advantage of this brand new deal from Adam and Eve. AdamandEve.com/ace is where you go. That's AdamandEve.com/ace. This is absolutely the best deal we have ever offered, and you deserve the best Valentine's Day ever. This is a limited time offer, so get your 4 sex toys while supplies last. 4 toys for $20, literally saving up to $175 with this exclusive offer. Have a fun and rowdy Valentine's Day this year with our good friends at Adam and Eve. Right, Dawson?
Take a look at AdamandEve.com/ace to see what 4 sex toys will be yours for just $20. Go to AdamandEve.com/ace. It's the only way to get this offer.
I do think I made an actual good choice recently. I just quit being vegan after a year and a half of doing it. I'm back, baby! Back in these meat streets. Oh, man, does it feel good to have friends again.
Kelsey Cook is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Good to see you, Kelsey.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to the dark side.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I was trying to think, is Kelsey one of those kind of 50-50 male-female names?
It is, yeah.
Because they're names that are, I don't know, Sam or something. You can go, yeah, but there's more dude Sams. It's cute on a girl, but there's more dude Sams.
Yeah.
But Kelsey, I'd go,
Is it? No.
See, I think there's
A little
way
more
more women.
Way more women.
I only know
Way
Kelsey
more?
Grammer. That's the only
Yeah,
male
exactly.
I know.
You just know that one really well.
I interviewed him last week or something.
This is on the top of your mind, yeah.
No, I went to school with a Kelsey.
Interesting.
I had a few. There are a few Kelseys out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Google famous Kelseys and let's see what percentage of them. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I think it's an older. Sorry, it was a man's name 30 years ago
Okay.
or 50 years ago, and
Yeah.
now it's morphed. It moved toward the
Became a
feminine
female,
side.
yeah.
So, stand up. Where'd you shoot your stand-up special, by the way? Mark your territory. It's available now on Hulu and on YouTube as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
How'd that work, the Hulu and YouTube marriage?
So I've never done anything like this, and I think Hulu, this is maybe one of the first times they've tried it, but it's kind of nice because press-wise, like I think there are certain media outlets that if you say, "Oh, I have a YouTube special," they're like, "Yeah, that's not big enough for you to come on our show." But if you have the Hulu of it all, then your publicist is gonna be like, "That's coming on Hulu," and then you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you do Good Morning America or whatever. But it is a little hard because you don't see the views on Hulu. You do see them for YouTube. So I'm hoping that the YouTube views still look good, but it's hard because like we are losing some to Hulu, and then you don't want to look like nobody's watching it at all on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you siphon
impacts,
them off to Hulu because we don't need to see it on YouTube, or a percentage of us don't need to see it that way. We got a list of famous Kelseys. You're number 14. But what I'm looking for is the male-female
You're working your way
breakdown.
up, baby. You're working your way up. We're gonna climb up above.
Kelsey Grammer's number 1, and the rest are all women. You're right.
Told you.
Only that. And what about the dude I went to high school with?
What's he up to?
Yeah. So you're number 14. Who are you behind? Because I think we could pick off a few of these Kelseys.
Right? We're climbing the ranks.
I know. Now I feel like I have beef with
Like,
these
look,
people.
I'm never-
These are your mortal enemies. There can only be one.
What are you doing ahead of me?
I'm never going to catch Adam Levine. Like, I made my peace with that.
Okay,
but I
yeah,
could get to Adam Schiff at some point, you know? Like, there are other Adams I could get to.
I'm number 2 behind the Mayhem Miller, who's on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, Jesus. You got a Ishi in front of you.
Well, I think she
Who's number
identifies
13 who's ahead of Kelsey over here?
I will say the pictures, it's a kind of an OnlyFans vibe.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting a lot of like money for
I was
feet
thinking
pics.
prison lineup, but all right. Yeah.
Okay. Like some of them are pretty
Nah, we like them.
pretty attractive.
Who's in front of you? I'm trying to. And can we pick her off? That's what I'm saying. Can we start a campaign? You know what I mean? Kelsey Dara?
Who is this? YouTube star. Yeah, see.
You got it.
No.
You got this.
You got her.
How many subscribers does she
She's nothing.
have?
She got a Hulu
120.
special?
You got it.
Come on.
Come on. You
Yeah.
got to do better.
I
Someone's
mean,
gotta
you guys
update
are both
this.
on YouTube, so the solution is boxing.
This is what we
I'll train you. Don't
Celebrity.
worry. I'll hold the pads every day. You'll get after it, okay? You're going to knock her the fuck out.
Honestly, I'm into it. Let's fucking do it.
I know. Okay.
I've got
Hey, I'm
crazy-
signing that. I brought the contract here, right here, actually.
Perfect.
The got dates coming up. Spokane Comedy Club, which is cool. Been there.
Yeah, that's my hometown.
Oh, the Wilbur in Boston is great.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful
thanks.
theater. That is a great theater. That's coming up February 21st. Great theater showroom, Foxwoods. That's coming up Connecticut. Yeah, the Wilbur's a beautiful old-timey
Thanks.
theater. It's a great venue.
Legendary. I opened for Jim Norton there years ago. I used to open for him on tour.
Oh, you did?
And, but this will be my first time headlining, and I'm so excited.
How was it touring with Jim Norton? Inquiring minds.
Pretty wacky.
I get asked that so often.
Well, I know Jim pretty well.
I know.
Yeah, he's the best. He changed my life completely because I think if you have a young comic where you're like, yes, you can open for me on this entire tour, you get to quit your day job. Like it really changed my life. But he used to do embarrassing things to me on the road, but his tour manager, Club Soda Kenny, do you know Club Soda Kenny?
I don't know him. I've heard of
We
the
know
name.
of him.
Infamous. He would do things all the time to me that were just like mortifying. He was always the guy who would do the God mic to bring us out
Yeah.
on stage. And every theater show, he'd be the side of stage and he'd go, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Norton." And people go, "Ah." And then he'd go, "But first." And you could just like feel
I
people
like it. Oh, they pull back?
immediately be like, "God damn
But
it."
you'd
And
win
then-
'em.
Well, but then I would walk out, which like very different vibe from
Yeah.
Jim, at least like aesthetically. And I could just see men be like, "This is a good time to take a dump." Like,
Oh, walk in the
I'll be
crowd.
back in 20. Just from like looking at me, but then by the end of the tours with him, I feel like
Nice.
his
How
fan
did
base
Jim?
was
How did you guys pair up? Because it seems a little unlikely.
right. So he had tweeted, this is years ago, that he was coming to LA, and I lived here at the time, and he was promoting a special, and he was like, "What podcast should I do?" And I had a podcast at the time, and some of the listeners were like, "Oh, you should get him on." And I was like, I've never met him. I don't want to just be like suckling at the teat, you know? But then somebody had, I guess his like business email was public, and they were like, hey, this is his email. He responds to this. You should just send something. And so I was like, okay, fuck it. So I sent an email, and he responded and was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to do it. And I was like, I'm not going to get beheaded, right? Like, this is an actual real thing. If I go to this hotel room, I'm not going to die. They're like, nope, this is his email. And so I did it, and it went great. And it just was one of those things where I knew that Amy Schumer had opened for him for a few years on tour, I believe. And so I said, if you ever need an opener, I'd love to work with you. And did one show, and then he sent me the rest of the dates for the year.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was 3 years I toured with him. So, yeah, he really did. He was like my...
That's great.
Yeah, comedy fairy godmother.
Yeah.
I could see him wearing a dress.
Twisted.
That exact dress and bippity boppity boo.
The thing that's off-putting about him is how normal his parents are.
Isn't it interesting?
Because you must have seen them
They're
on the
so
road.
sweet. They're the sweetest people on the planet.
Oh,
yes, they...
And still married.
Yeah, they,
You know.
you don't. They're American Gothic type. Like I don't know what you would think if you met them and you knew Jim and you knew his ways.
Maybe too much family values does that to a guy.
I get possibly.
Yeah.
But when you meet them, they seem so normal and adjusted and
Yes.
and everything you wouldn't think they would be.
Very like mild mannered.
Yes.
So you look at and you're like, okay, like nature versus nurture.
But I
What
guess,
happened?
if you met my parents, you wouldn't know what they did, or my mom didn't talk. She didn't have a sense. My mom had no sense of humor. My dad really didn't like talking and stuff. You know, just kind of sit there. So you wouldn't get anything from me off of them. But your dad, at least it looks like from this, was a bit of a character.
Yeah, he's like a full clown.
And he was a yo-yo champion.
Your dad came to my elementary school.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
I know, it's
Yep.
what he did.
I bought a butterfly from him.
Oh, butterfly's a nice yo-yo.
That's what I'm saying.
And he could do the cats and the cradle and the walking the dog and the whole thing.
Of course.
Everything.
Waterfall.
Everything. Yeah. And when you're a kid, that's really exciting to have your dad come and be like the entertainment at the school. And then, man, it just takes such a turn when you get to high school.
Yeah.
It goes from like your dad's so cool when you're young, and then you get to high school age and you're like, if you come near this school with your yo-yos, like I'm trying to lose my virginity out here. Like I need you to be nowhere near this school. And now I'm an adult and now it's cool again. So it's like a weird
roller
relationship
coaster
with it. But yeah.
That's great.
Was he a professional? Was he like a champion?
Yeah.
He was considered an international yo-yo man.
Wow.
So he would
Yep,
travel.
His name, I remember.
He would.
You do?
Yes, the international yo-yo man. I did my research. I said, oh my God, I know her daddy. Yes, that's so
Is he
crazy.
still with us?
He is. Yes.
And so he didn't get laid in high school, I guess, but somehow he met your mom.
Right.
And
yeah.
And he learned the yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
And back when it was something, like it was kind of cool, like for a minute. And
Well, yeah.
then there was a window in time where what we did. Here's
a movement up and down and up and down and up.
They went. We did plate spinning. In the 50s and the 60s. There's
my
plate
God.
spinners.
Yeah.
Then that gave way to the yo-yo. And then that gave way to cup stacking.
Yes.
Now we're at cup stacking. We're still at cup stacking for some reason. We had a little window of the boomerang. They made a boomerang for a minute. People were like, too many kids probably got too many concussions or something.
Probably.
But
maybe pogo stick time. Was that big?
I remember that
pogo stick.
What is that ball called? The Bop It Whammo ball, where you stand with it's a neon colored ball and you hop up and down. It's like a unicycle but stupider.
There was a click clack. Certain things were outlawed. So there was a weird sort of 70s kind of pre-digital where you had to kind of make your own fun.
Yes.
And people did a lot of like craft stuff. Like you'd see guys wearing hats that were knitted together with yarn made of Budweiser cans. There was you can take a Budweiser can and take a panel off it and punch holes in it and then make yourself a sun hat out of yarn. There was a whole thing. There was a commercial for bottles. So what you would do, there there was a commercial where it was a glass cutter. So you'd take like a 7-Up bottle, you'd cut it, you'd knock it off, you'd sand it, and you'd have a beautiful tumbler. You know,
my God.
and for free. Like there was rock tumblers. Like there was a whole kind of make your own.
Just so much time on
I
people's
wager a
hands.
lot of this is on Etsy right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
There were dudes. There was always the dude in town who had a pickup truck who made his own camper shell out of plywood or birch or something. 1x6 dog-eared redwood.
My Uncle Bill.
TNG, like this camper dude guy. Like people just kind of did stuff. And
my dad was the king of these things.
He did? Did he have?
Well,
What do you
it's
have?
just like who masters yo-yo? Like these things were so strange that he did. So he would like master yo-yo. He like mastered frisbee, and then I don't know the timing of this with yo-yo and foosball, but foosball became this massive thing.
I think that was like a fratty thing that turned into a thing.
Right.
But
Then when
the frisbee's pretty cool too.
Yeah. So he got really into that. But so my parents both became professional foosball players. That's how they met. They met at a professional foosball tournament. My mom's in the Foosball Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Wow.
It's this whole weird. So you're talking about if you met your parents, you would maybe not go, oh, this is somebody who's related to a comedian, right?
If you met my mom, you'd think both her kids were dead because she seemed depressed and she wouldn't talk about us. So you wouldn't want to bring us up because you'd be like tearing a Band-Aid off. Yeah, obviously they're not with us.
Disturb her.
Yeah, it's no way they're successful people because you'd probably be talking about them at some point.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she would think we were dead. You would think.
Happy Mother's Day.
And my dad, you would just. If you talk to my mom, you'd think both her kids died.
Yeah.
And if you talk to my dad, you would think he never had kids. So he was a little better.
Really? Okay.
He was a little bit better than my mom.
We're working through all these issues on the air.
Yeah, we're working through them.
A little bit of trauma.
But your parents, foosball, Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. And so, yeah, there's my mom.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had me, and then they would start standing me on a stool when I was like 2. So I was tall enough to see the top of the table, and they trained me.
They thought
and
you were going to be the next.
that
So did you let them down? Did you ever see foosball gold?
You know, I've like gotten first in a couple things.
Ah.
I've competed my whole life, but
You're underselling it.
You-
You're the world foosball champion. I did my research.
well, I had a web series for a while called Wrist of Fury where I would play against other comedians.
Oh, wow.
I would like hustle people. We did like I hustled people on the Vegas Strip, like hustled drunk dudes and stuff.
Yeah.
But you have like the people who are the top ranked in the world, they put an amount of time into it that we do into comedy. Like you have to really make it your life to be the top ranked. But yeah, it's like the reason I exist. I literally wouldn't exist if it weren't for foosball. Just
Your
sad.
parents.
No, that's awesome. It's awesome that you were into something so deep, and now you like made this strange.
That's all they did
change.
for a living. Did they have
My
side
mom,
jobs?
My mom was working in foosball and playing for a while exclusively, and then my dad for 40 years has been a trumpet player in the Spokane Symphony. So that's like his main thing.
That was
And then
my
with-
dad's main thing was
Oh yeah,
trumpet.
trumpet. Yes, both you guys are trumpeteer.
Yeah,
No
but he
way.
wasn't good. but it was his whole world.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
I kind of even have the feeling, and I would assume, but your dad was pretty diverse.
Yeah.
But a lot of dexterity with those fingers of your dad, you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
the
I wish I-
valves and the
I don't wanna
the
think about too much.
foos and
That's-
let's not go to the finger part. Mom, the imagery of mom pops in.
Trumpet,
But
yo-yo. Too much fingers.
I have a thought. My thought is my dad, who never played trumpet professionally, probably spent more time holding a trumpet and talking about playing the trumpet than your dad, who went and did it for a living and then came
Really?
home and was probably able to put the trumpet down, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, he would practice, obviously, all different sorts of rehearsals and stuff, but yeah, generally he was like also just normal dad outside of that. Minus yo-yo, I guess. But
Yeah, so my dad never had the trumpet was never further than 28 inches from him, wherever he was.
Oh my God.
He sat there with trumpets right next to him all the time.
What did he do for a living?
Well, he was a sort of substitute school teacher for a while.
Okay.
And then then that gave way to working at an orphanage, as we used to call them,
Okay.
and working at the school in the orphanage, and then a foster home or whatever it was, place kids couldn't be placed, and they couldn't go to school outside of the facility because they were too troubled or whatever it is.
Okay.
So he sort of worked there. Then he stopped doing that when he was probably like 50 and decided that he wanted to be a therapist, but that he was going to have to go to school for several years in order to get his certificate or whatever that thing was. And then at some point, probably about the age of 65 or something, became a therapist. And that's what he did. Now, everything was always a little part-timey, and there was never any real money or success, but there was a kind of a slow drip of work, but never really enough to be what you would call successful.
Never owned a yo-yo.
Never owned a yo-yo.
That's always the marker for wealth.
Oh, do we have
yo-yo?
Kelsey's dad playing that? Is there footage of your...
Yes.
Yeah, it's my dad playing the trumpet and your dad's playing the trumpet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, would your dad play for the orphans?
Oh, they'd had enough.
I was gonna say,
they've
if
seen
they're
enough.
like, God, I hope I get
They've
adopted
already
soon.
been traumatized by their alcoholic
No more.
stepdad that physically and verbally and emotionally molested them.
Please no more
my
trumpet.
God.
Yeah, that would have triggered them like a Vietnam vet hearing a helicopter. You know what I mean? They would have gone off.
I hear
Cold
the round
sweats. Yeah, your dad could play the trumpet.
Yeah, it's his still.
My dad couldn't play my dad could play the trumpet a little bit, but for some reason he built his whole. I'll tell you what happens. I'll tell you what it is. I think, but you guys can tell me. Everybody sort of needs something to kind of build a life on. To say, hey, let me prove I was alive.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I did, And every once in a while, and you'll understand this example, like once in a while I'm a car guy. So once in a while I'll talk to a guy and he'll go, I got a 68 Mustang notchback, not the original owner, but my stepdad bought it when I was 13 and now I have it now and it's in primer, but it's in the garage. Had it for 27 years now. I'm working on it. Not done yet. Engine's not in. It's my pride and joy. And I'm like, it's $1,300 worth of car. Like, it's literally a 17-year-old Mini Cooper with 170,000 miles on it is worth much more. Now, I know it's not all worth. I'm just saying, Ford made 200 million of these notchback Mustangs in 1968. Yours is in primer. It's not the one Steve McQueen drove in Bullet or anything. It's just, it's $2,000 worth of car.
Yeah.
And it's in primer and it's never going to be done. And you're pulling out pictures. Literally, they're getting pictures out of, look at it. This
like
is
it's their child.
Well, bro,
and
I just wanted you to see the craftsmanship that's going into it, right?
And so what I realize is everybody needs something. Now, if you wrote books or had successful TV shows or something, then you don't go to the notchback Mustang. You might hop ahead to the book or something. You don't need these little things, but everyone kind of needs to grab onto something. And my dad had no success in life and had nothing he could brag about, but the trumpet, it didn't matter how bad he would still be the only person in the room who could play the trumpet. Because there'd be six people.
You're right.
With air quotes around play. It's
I'm going home
loosely,
We found your dad playing trumpet next to a guy playing an organ.
Oh
wow, this is your dad.
That's you guys did a deep dive. Well, my dad and I started something in the pandemic too called Trumpet Tuesday, where he would learn how to play the trumpet version of like Jay-Z songs.
Oh,
and
really?
Songs.
Really?
Because if you hear a song on the radio and it has trumpet, I would always just think, I wonder if I played that for my dad, if he could just pick up his trumpet.
You're not going to believe me.
Out.
I've also seen that on TikTok.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for watching.
Was your dad
so
a big fan of the band Cake?
Yes, we did a lot of Cake covers.
We did a lot of...
I love Cake so much.
Well, you can't do Cake covers. There is a trumpet in Cake. I mean...
Well...
It's cheating.
He's playing the trumpet part. I mean, he's playing the trumpet
No,
part.
but he's that's trumpet on trumpet crime. That's brass on brass crime right there. He has to play a Jay-Z song with no trumpet.
Give him a break. He's going the distance.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
I feel like you're
for speed.
projecting your dad's lack of trumpet ability.
Man, he's
onto
mad
me
about
right
that trumpet. Let me tell you.
Damn it, if you just hugged me once in a while and put that trumpet down.
God damn
I
it.
wish you'd held me like you'd held that trumpet, old man.
Oh, you broke him apart. Damn
I
it.
got a spit valve for you. All right, so this is your dad playing.
Yeah.
Again, it's cheating with cake, but we'll hear him play this.
Oh boy. Oh, wait, we're actually gonna play this.
Yeah, my dad could never do this.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god.
Here it goes.
Look at him.
Wow. Regal.
Beautiful. This is so funny. I never imagined I would come on today and hear my dad in a cathedral play. I've never seen this video in my life.
Oh, we got my dad playing the trumpet somewhere on there. Oh, all right, a little more of your dad.
Oh, that's very nice.
All right, after you hear my dad play the trumpet, you're going to hug your dad so hard next time, you're never going to let him go.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're going to weep, and you're going to just say thank you over and over again. And he's going to go, what's this about? What's this about?
I've really taken this for granted. I just...
Oh, wait till you hear my dad play the trumpet.
Oh, I can't wait.
Man. Next on Masterpiece Theater.
Killed it.
That's crushing it.
Yeah. It is very funny to watch him do. Like, he covered WAP by Cardi B.
That's what I'm saying. Not cake. WAP.
Yeah. There are certain songs that have things that kind of sound like trumpet but aren't, and he will do those notes. And
He can just hear it and do it.
Yeah.
Oh, your dad's a genius. All right, sorry. Do we have my dad's playing the trumpet somewhere in there.
now.
What's your dad's name?
Jim.
Jim.
Jim, we
Sweet,
have
sweet
it. My
Jim.
computer. Yeah, he's gonna be missed. Not by people with ears, but
Oh, Jim.
he loved the trumpet. It brought him great joy. But your dad, I mean, foosball.
Yeah.
There may never be another man like your dad.
It's like the Dos Equis guy. He's like
The most interesting man in the world.
Yeah. He's also a slam poetry champion. I'm telling you, it's
What?
like weird. Yeah, he just...
Well, maybe your dad's just a genius.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
The
Did you think
champion
of
of
that?
obscure hobbies and sports.
He's extremely smart. I think he figures something out and he likes it, and then he wants to figure the next thing out. And so he just has all these hobbies.
That's good. Now you see, your mom is wired that way because most women get annoyed by that because the guy ends up going to the basement and he starts working on his Civil War models, and she's like, "Would you come upstairs already?" And he's like, "I'm finishing. I got a battle going down here." You know,
Sharpening his sword.
right,
Oh my God.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got.
Your dad?
I think we got my dad. Now remember, I want you to hug your dad. I want you to weep, and you just keep saying thank you over and over again, all right?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yo! I wasn't ready for that.
And barely knows how to use a yo-yo. I mean, he's okay. He's okay. He's not professional. He's fine. He's okay.
fine.
He was ranked in an amateur, but he was not professional.
He can't do walk the dog. He can do drag the dog.
He
just
drags
mostly
that dog
yo-yo.
around.
Fine.
He doesn't go all the way around the world. He'll do the
I'll go to Jersey.
Yeah, come back. What a crazy life. You know,
right?
it's so interesting. Like Chris Hardwick's dad was a professional bowler.
Right.
And you hear these stories, everyone, and you're like, okay, these people had to have kids somewhere along the line.
Yep.
But that's kind of crazy when you talk about, most people are like, my mom was a housewife and my dad was he was an attorney at an insurance firm or something. I was like, that's your parents.
Yeah. It's just I'm like the least interesting.
So
of my
wait,
family.
how do you make the
Yeah, I was
slide
gonna
into
say, can you get
performing?
Dad in here?
I know. Yeah, he'd
no,
happily
but
come in here.
what pushed you into this kind of comedic lifestyle? You know, it's not normal for women to jump on there. Like it's different.
I know, and I had no intention of going into it. I went into college as a math major. I thought I was going to be a high school math teacher at the high school I went to. Like, that's how little risk I wanted
Spokane.
to take. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how little risk I wanted to take in life. I wanted to just, like, get a job that I knew was in demand and just do it at the high school I went to. Like, wanted no change in my life. And then I got to, it was like Calculus 3, halfway through college, just brain bleeding out of my ears. I was like, this can't be what I'm supposed to do. And so I switched to a broadcast production major, and one of the first things you have to do is take a public speaking class. And I kept turning my assignments basically into like comedy sketches. And my professor pulled me aside afterward and was like, you're like obviously doing way more work than you need to, but it's like, you're so funny. You should do the open mic at the school. You should try this. Wow. So
your math teacher told you?
No, my public speaking teacher. Because I changed into that.
Sorry, I got stuck.
No, it's okay. So yeah, and it was just kind of one of those things.
Mayhem's teacher pulled him aside and said, "You should let someone punch you in the head."
Yeah, I got to long division, and they were like, "Buddy, here's a mouthpiece and a cup.
We're done.
Get in the ring."
Yeah.
We have your dad playing DMX.
You guys will love this. It's so
all right.
fun.
Now, would you call your dad a ham?
Kinda. It's gotta be, right?
Yes and no. He's very normal if you were to just talk to him. He's not like weird and jokey. He would just, he's like kind of mild-mannered, quiet, nice.
You gotta be serious to Yo-Yo.
Well, then he means it. Means he means it. All right, here he is.
Where the hood at?
System of a Down.
Yeah. Disorder. Demon dining with me. Well, he dies with me. Disorder.
Hold on a second. This is, you can pause it.
I'm into it now.
This is so weird because I'm going out to dinner with System of a Down tonight with Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Oh my God, will you please tell Dr. Drew I say hi?
Hell yeah.
I'll tell him your dad said what's up. We'll see how this interview goes. You got to earn a hi.
Come on.
Dr. Drew. If I just told him every Yahoo wannabe comedian says hi, I'd be saying him hi all day.
I'm the only repeat guest on his show.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right,
He
I'll bring
knows
that up
me.
to him. Yeah, me and I just found this out. Okay, I'm living with Dr. Drew, so I get to say hi to him every day.
Say hi all the time.
didn't know
In his
this.
bathrobe.
I'm displaced from my home in Malibu.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I'm living with Dr. Drew.
Okay.
And 25 years ago, maybe more, me and Dr. Drew went out to dinner with System of a Down and Glendale, which is, kind of Armo City, at the Mediterranean place. And we had we had a lovely sit-down meal with them. And then we had a small incident involving an appetizer. Nothing personal, but it was an appetizer.
Can we know about this incident?
Well, it was. I've said it before. I'll try to make it quick. I think who was on the show? Chavo, was I talking to him about it? So we met System of a Down at a restaurant, a very popular restaurant in Glendale, a Mediterranean type restaurant.
And put the appetizer up on the table.
Yes, and this is kind of before people ate at these kinds of restaurants. I mean, white people, and we're talking 1999 here, probably. It wasn't ubiquitous like kebabs and falafel and stuff like that now. And I'm sort of that ilk of food because it was always that kind of, you want Chinese, you want Mexican, you want a steak, And Thai food was a little exotic. Indian was a little, but didn't really do the lula kebab and stuff like that. But anyway, Drew and I met them. Now, we used to have a show that ran at 10 p.m. at night, and it ran in Culver City. And there were lots of dinners and events and stuff I would go to, but at about 9:15, 9:20, I'd have to pop up and go, I got to go get the car from the valet. We got to split. Me and Drew would always just get up and leave.
You wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of no fun because you couldn't really have drinks and stuff. You know, you'd have a glass of wine or something, but you couldn't get your drink on. You couldn't hang. You
wanted to.
You had to leave, So anyway, we met System of a Down at the restaurant at, 7 o'clock or whatever. And they kept going. As soon as we sat down, they go, you got to try these appetizers. These appetizers are the best. There's one thing. Because they know the menu. And it's System of a Down, and it's $19.99, and they're in Glendale, and they're the prince of all Armenians. Because to be fair with Armenians, it's like they got System of a Down, they got Mark Garagos, they got Britney Spears' ex-husband. Like, there's not a lot to choose from in terms of. There's not a lot there.
Right,
you know what I mean?
You're forgetting the UFC.
Okay, but that's a newer thing. There wasn't even the UFC.
Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad. Yeah.
It's slim pickings with Armenian idols. Back in 1999.
Kardashians weren't a thing.
Kardashians weren't a thing.
Hadn't even Ray J.
It was slim pickings. There weren't any Armenian rock stars.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we went in there, and when System of a Down came walking into their restaurant, they were like, "Oh my god, oh my god," oh my god. And the staff started running around, filling up water and running around. You want something to drink, And then we sat there, and we were like, they're treating us like kings, know. And then they go, you got to try these appetizers. They do this kind of appetizer with the meat and the thing and the pastry and whatever. It's the best, the best. They talk about the whole time. So then the waiter comes by and says, "Oh, the System of Down, it's a System of Down." And Chavo or one of the guys goes, "We're gonna get like 2 orders of the appetizer with the meat and the pastry crust. Okay, so bring those out right away. Bring those first. We'll order later because you guys are going to love these." And the guy goes, "Those just for takeout." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, but just bring them here. Bring them to the table." "No." Goes, "Yeah, we don't want to eat them out. We're not taking them out. We're just going to eat them. That appetizer's just for takeout."
Weird.
And he goes, "Okay, I get it, but we really like to we're going to order a lot. So just bring 2 plates. You can eat outside. It's not for here."
What the heck?
And they go, "All right, sorry, this is embarrassing." Like, they're looking at me and Drew going, "Sorry, this is kind of embarrassing." Maybe the guy starts talking to him in his native tongue or something. And the guy's shaking his head. He's like, "No.
Why didn't you
it's like, it's on takeout the menu." He said, "Yeah, okay, just bring them to here and we'll eat them." "No." And the guy's like, "We're so sorry. I'm sorry." Maybe he doesn't understand. Like, get the manager. The System of a Down is here. Get the break. Manager comes out. "The System of Down. The System of Down." "Yeah, we're gonna get the appetizer. We're gonna bring that is for takeout."
Oh my God.
I know. Just bring them here to the no.
I don't know why you wouldn't just trust in his self-righteous suicide.
So then we're all just sitting there, and they're like, "God, this is so embarrassing. These are the best thing on the menu." They built them all up.
Yeah.
We never had them. They would not bring them to the fucking table.
Dickens. They don't want to stink up the whole restaurant with that thing. Who knows?
I realized at that point the Armenians' love of saying the word no transcends any kind of stardom, rock star, any celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, no, everything is a distant second
racist,
to no.
Because they're white.
No, it's just no. They love the word no.
Say no.
They love no.
Dang.
And
I've
we
never
never got
heard of
it.
anything like that.
And we've been laughing about that story for 25 years.
Peppers.
And at some point, we just said, you know what? It's time for a reunion. And we got to get back. We're going back to the same restaurant.
No way.
Yeah.
We're going to order those appetizers.
Are you going to eat there, or are you going to get it to go? I mean, what are we doing here? You're going to go your whole life not knowing what these taste like?
Dr. Drew in the parking lot with a mouthful of pita.
Yeah. I feel like we can get them now. Like kind of. Remember McDonald's always cut their breakfast off at like 10:30 in the morning, and like, why don't you just serve it all day? I don't get it. And then at some point they just went, oh, fuck it, you can buy it whenever you want or whatever.
Hungover, you want a hash brown at 3 p.m.
Oh my God!
God!
I used to dream. I had a fantasy because you ever had the thing where it wasn't 11, it was like 10:30.
Yeah.
When they'd lock, and once your brain gets locked into that sausage McMuffin, it's like laser tractor beam, nothing else.
Nothing else will do.
Nothing else. Yeah, you're hungover and you just go, I'm gonna get 2 of those, and you get locked in, and you come pulling in at like 10:35, and they go, no breakfast, and you go, what, to 11, right? To 11? And they go, no, it's 10.
It's part of that movie Falling Down. He started a shooting rampage because of that. Michael Douglas. I
had a fantasy. Now, it would have to be Sunday mornings because people have to go Saturday night. They got to get their drink on, right? And when they knocked it off at 10:30, and I would just go there at 9:45, and I'd order 35 egg McMuffins and I would just stand there in the parking lot, and I'd see people look dejected in their face, and they'd come around and I'd go, oh, do you want a sausage McMuffin? And they'd go, oh, fuck yeah, I do. I'd go, oh, that'd be $121. the chick would be like, I only have $80. I'm like, okay, maybe a blowjob. I don't know. Let me see. I'm feeling generous.
Surge pricing takes over.
You're a maker of
Speaking
dreams.
of Surge, I was one of the guys from System of a Down that got turned down.
Exactly right.
But seriously, I think you could sell one. You could sell one for like $30.
Yeah, like just a
If someone in my
out
bracket,
there.
I'll give you $30. I'll take the sandwich. I want it so bad.
Oh my God! So my boyfriend Chad Daniels, also a comedian, been on your show before.
Yeah, Chad.
He used to do shows. I think it was House of Comedy in Minneapolis, which is in a mall, and there was maybe like a Chili's or an Applebee's next door.
Oh, Chad, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful beard.
Yes.
Does he still have his beautiful beard?
Beautiful man. Yep. Beautiful beard. When he was coming up in comedy to try to make extra money between shows, he would go get one of the waiting for the table buzzers and put his name down. And then if there was a family of 6 that was dying to get in, but the wait was an hour, Chad would go up and be like, $20.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't want to eat there. He just wanted to have that hustle of can I just make another $20, $30?
He's scalping at Applebee's
to a family that wanted to cut the line.
I'd do that with my dad. I'd go, start playing the trumpet, and eventually they'll start pulling money out to get you to stop. That's how I made my cash as a young comedian that way.
My ears are bleeding.
I can't take it anymore. What's it going to take to get your lips off that trumpet, old man?
Oh, God.
I'll pay anything.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, I forgot about Chad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best.
Now, when I hear his jokes, I think about you, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when you hear mine, you can think about him.
Oh.
Well, some of them are situations. They're intimate. I don't know.
His daughter unfollowed me on Instagram.
Yes.
Some of my jokes about it was just I do not
too much.
How does that work when? I mean, let's be honest. When comedians, and especially me, go, let's just joking about whatever race, fill in whatever race or whoever I'm talking about. I'm not joking. I mean it. I mean every joke I say. I try to put a little flavor on it, but the reason I thought of it is because I mean it. I may be busting my dad's chops, but do not
genuinely don't want to hear that.
He's not Herb Alpert. That I will tell you right now. So there's always something there.
Right.
And so when you start telling these stories, sometimes they're a little intimate because there's a little sexual tone to them or what have you, which, by the way, you have to do because you're trying to get a laugh. You're not telling boring, mundane, G-rated stuff. But then somebody's related to somebody and here's something at some point, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so weird. It's weird for my parents to hear stuff like that and then have Chad over for dinner. It's weird for his kids to hear it. But it's like, this is my career. You can't become a completely different person just because you're worried about your parents hearing it.
Would your parents would they seek it out? Like, do they need to hear it?
So I always was like, you guys can listen to whatever you want. You can come to my shows. That's all fine. But just know, like, I am dirty sometimes. The only time I told them I don't want you to watch this was my This Is Not Happening story on Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, the first time I tried to masturbate, I used a manicure tool. I didn't know I was allergic to latex. Everything swelled shut. I had to go to the emergency room.
Wow. Yeah, you got to keep them out for that.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need you to
Well, when
hear
you say
that.
it all clinical like that, I feel bad for you.
Thank you so
It's not
much.
very funny, though. It is a funny story, but man, when you say it like that, I'm just, there's some kind of cream involved, I hope.
Oh, it was absolutely traumatic. I mean, that's like your first sexual experience as a teenager. You think you're doing this like very private thing. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what's down there. And then everything swells shut. I had to tell my mom I wasn't old enough to drive. So I had to tell her what happened.
Oh.
And she had to take me to the clinic.
What device was inserted? Because I'm not a beautician.
It's like the things you see on like Home Shopping Network where it's like, it's a handle, but then you put little different attachments to buff your nails. But the handle was like shaped like a dick. I mean, if you were a teenager, nobody would look at that and be like,
not think it's a dick.
Yeah, you're like, that's going inside.
And also, everything's shaped like a dick when you're a teenager. Clouds, flagpoles, they're all dick shaped.
This has been said a million times, but like, I think if you guys just had a hole down there, like a mystery hole, you would have been shoving shit up there at a way younger age.
The prison pocket.
Yeah. You guys
I've
do
been
have
finding army men from when I was 11. Now, you know what I mean? I'd just sit on the toilet and an army man would fall in. I'd go, well, that's my dad's first apartment.
Christmas Eve. Oh, fun.
Yeah, I would never. I'd invite my parents to all the stuff I did, except for a short run when I was with Puppetry of the Penis. Okay. And that's the only show, you know, and the Puppetry of the Penis, a lot of same moves your dad would do with the yo-yo, we would do, you know.
Even why you're making me want to puke in my mouth right now thinking about this stuff. Horrifying.
How did Puppetry of the Penis even take off? I mean, is that really...
Nah, because women like to see us degrade ourselves.
All right, Mayhem, give me one news story so we can say we did the news before we bring
we can
Patrick
say
in.
we did the news. Let's get after this. I want to hear your take on this. A former student who got the New Jersey teacher pregnant at 13. Okay, you follow me? He wants her charges dropped, and he wants to be a family. Yeah. A controversial case in New Jersey has taken an unexpected turn. As a former student who fathered a child with his teacher at the age of 13 is now publicly defending her and calling for the charges to be dropped.
Now, how old is he now?
Now he's 19, going on 20.
All right.
And how old is she?
She is 34 years old. So she was a teenager.
God.
He was 12. Yeah, she invited them
12
to
or
stay.
13, and
he was 12,
and she was like 29 or something,
That's
or whatever,
so
or 28.
That's so disgusting.
Okay, if I was the attorney for the young lady, the teacher, and I did not want her to do time for this statutory rape crime, I would then take the young boy and I would say, you do not want her to do time, do you? And he would say, no, I do not. And I would say, then you have to convert to Judaism. You're 13, you convert to Judaism, we give you a bar mitzvah, and then you become a man. So you're technically, in the eyes of the Lord,
yes.
you are a man,
The Torah
and thus entitled to violate a woman as a man. This is no longer statutory rape. You are, in fact, a man. That's why I wait outside of the quinceañeras.
She's beautiful. It's like you could have absolutely gotten men your own.
It
age
is
and
weird
older.
when
It's like, why are we?
That version,
going to
you know what
daycare?
you're doing? You're chick-splaining because it's You're doing the version of when you see a decent looking dude and you go, you didn't have to rape. You could have gotten laid on your own.
Yes.
Interesting.
But it's true. You go, you didn't have to be a rape. But I think that's their kink, you know?
Again, this is, of course, nothing to do with looks. I just think there
No,
is a
I agree with you.
stereotype.
You're right. She could have met a fucking normal dude and had sex with him, but that wouldn't have been the point, I think.
Of course, it's not the point. But when you read, like if I hadn't seen the picture and it's just a story of like a New Jersey teacher who fucked a 13-year-old, you don't picture a girl who looks like that.
Nah,
she's got good bones.
She looks like a kid fucker.
But
that's what I say.
What about her says
she's
kid
something
fucker
in her
too?
eyes and in her orange jumpsuit.
There's a darkness to her soul.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Her,
She got lost along the way. She's a 12-year-old boy staying at her house.
But let me say this. You, as an adult and attractive adult woman, having sex with a 12 or 13-year-old boy have an opportunity that most Americans never realize, which is blowing someone's mind. You know what I mean? Like she could be 30 and she could go to an Applebee's and have a little small talk with the bar back who's 41, and he could take her back to his place and bang her on a futon, and he may be happy about it, but his mind isn't blown. You know what I mean? You get to be there while the 13-year-old dude's mind is blowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when you get older, you could be getting naked as the chick. You could be getting naked in the room. The guy could be looking at his phone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over at Grubhub. You want something? You're like, okay. 13-year-old, naked, blowjob,
Cirque du Soleil.
mind blown, and you get to experience wonderment, like giving a retarded kid, giving a retarded kid a Corvette or something. I just watch him go like, oh my god, so you could have that. You don't have that with Chad.
Well, why?
You're going to make it back to being a math teacher?
I'm truly very happy. I moved to Minnesota in the month of January to live with him. So that's when you know it's like
No, I'm not slighting the man. I'm saying you get naked, you walk through the house, he's still staring at his phone.
No.
His mind isn't blown, is what I'm saying. 13-year-old.
Not like a 13-year-old.
I'm saying if you would have got him when he was 13, it would be mine. And you'd be the recipient of the blown mind.
Ugh.
A sense of wonder.
Just give it some thought, would you, please?
It's so gross.
I got a related story if you want to get to it. Schools nationwide banned Crocs, citing safety concerns over the slippery shoes and twisted ankles. I have firsthand experience with this. Some of the kids in the jiu-jitsu class, as well as kids around the house, are wearing Crocs.
How can they be slippery? Everybody works in a kitchen at a restaurant wears Crocs.
Right.
Every nurse wears Crocs. How can they be slippery? You're walking through tile with grease and vomit and whatever all over the place. I mean, nurse, chef, you know what I mean? Like
I like how you combined those two occupations.
I combined them because the nurse has got bile on the ground on tile. Yeah. You're back. You got shortening and fat and lard and what?
You're right. Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Well, but kids, they don't have a good sense of their body yet, and they're twisting ankles gain massive popularity amongst children due to their bright colors, customizable charm, and easy slip-on design. But critics argue the features make them very appealing, also make them dangerous.
I'm against Crocs too, but I don't know.
Also,
kids
are
they're dangerous.
Only ever running. Like that's all they do is run.
Yeah.
So I mean, an adult nurse probably not act in the same way. So maybe as adults we haven't tested Crocs the way that kids are.
You're right.
But also I use it as a useful tool because if I see anyone who's like bedazzled their Crocs, I'm like, oh, that's a young gay kid. We got to have him talk to somebody. He's probably struggling right now. He's probably got a lot of feelings. He's scared to share. He doesn't know who he is. Let's just sit down with him and tell him it's okay. The people have feelings and sometimes they feel for, folks that look like them and that's okay. If I see the bedazzled Croc with the ankle strap kicked forward, I'm like, okay, that kid's gay.
Yeah, I got to put those things in sport mode.
Such a weird.
This is why we counsel. That's why you have to have counselors. You can talk to them. I wish someone had got hold of Chad.
Oh my God.
Also in the news, Mandy Moore blasts Amazon for delivering packages to in-laws'
what is
burned
this
down
story?
home.
Oh, in-laws.
Yes, actress and singer Mandy Moore has publicly criticized Amazon after one of the delivery drivers left a package at her in-laws' residence, which was completely burned down.
Now, I'm going to do some math. We probably lost more structures in Altadena, California.
Yes.
But that's kind of where the poor people live. Mm-hmm. That's where my dad and his trumpet lived.
Oh.
Mandy Moore probably married up. You know, she's good looking. You know, she was a child star, all that stuff. So her in-laws are in Malibu, probably Palisades, I'm guessing, but not Altadena. She's not marrying into a poor family, so I don't know where this is. Do you know where it is?
This is in Malibu, yeah. It's, I don't know exactly where. I'm not going to dox their empty lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, they left a... I don't know, this
It's
to
a
me is
crazy
on the
picture.
delivery driver, kind of like, why on earth were you not... You know, did you just drive by in the dark and throw that out the window? Because it's ashes, heap of ashes. Yeah, a house that no longer exists. She's drumming up some news for yelling at Amazon, but it's really just one delivery driver who wasn't paying attention.
Truly.
Also, people have boundless energy for stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have enough energy to go after Amazon or even.
Oh my God, yeah.
You got to write something and then people are talking about. Now you demand an apology.
Start
and
a
it's just
Facebook group.
Yeah, it seems like a calorie burner.
Yeah, the amount of money I've wasted on things that should be returned, but I'm just too lazy to actually.
Oh my
return
God,
them.
I was sitting here going, I've never returned anything in my life,
Oh, it's exhausting.
and I'm like, it's a hassle. You know what I mean? And so I just take it, you know, or keep it. Or normally, if I ordered a shirt on Amazon and it showed up and it was 2 sizes too small, I would just walk into work and I'd find somebody that was about and I'd go, there's your shirt.
I've tried to really limit my online shopping for clothes because it's the same thing. It's like you don't get to try them on until they get to your house, and then it's like they just sit and collect dust.
Yeah.
Or I donate them,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
But
taking
so
them
where's
back.
Mandy get the
energy?
She may not be gainfully employed right now, but anyway.
I don't think she's working. So yeah, she's got plenty of time to Karen it up.
All right. Well, you know what someone should tell her?
All right.
We should start a rumor. We'll do it right now.
No.
Cool. I'm into it.
The Amazon driver saw this. Mm-hmm. His supervisor saw it. He got fired, and he killed himself.
Oh.
Let's put that out there, and let's see what. Let's have Mandy. He had a pregnant wife.
Oh my.
She miscarried. He was out of work,
I'm
and he
not
took
part
his
of
own
this.
life. Let's do it. Let's get that and see what Mandy. Then she's going to have to release something that talks about being sorry and never intended any. Let's just start a rumor that the guy who drove the FedEx truck killed himself.
The funeral service for the Amazon driver who killed himself after Mandy Moore got him fired will be on Friday.
Okay. Does he have a GoFundMe? I'd like to contribute.
He's got a GoFundMe. It's / Mayhem Miller.
Yeah, because he did have one. The child she miscarried, but he did have a child from a previous marriage, and he's going to need.
The child is now orphaned.
Yeah. Okay.
The amount of things that have happened. I would have had watching my dad play trumpet in a cathedral and then starting brutal rumors about Mandy Moore and.
Welcome to the Adam Carolla Show.
I don't know if it's a rumor.
Wild
I don't know if it happened. I don't know if it didn't happen. I
happen.
can't say, neither can you. We don't know.
In the driver's defense, it's like, should he have just taken it back to headquarters? Like, would a message have been sent to the Amazon account? It's like, do they get trained for this?
Yeah, no,
sort of
you get a delivery receipt. You know,
Yeah.
it's out in front of your ashes.
Well, yeah, it's like, what do you? This is also, it's like an unprecedented thing. I don't know if they had been trained on, like, what do you do if you pull
Maybe
up
it
and
was just AI. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't recognize the dust.
I had a morbid thought, which is people go back and they have to sift through the rubble of seeing if they could find something.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the number one thing that survived the fire would be urns with relatives' ashes not in them anymore, but the urn itself, you know, the TV set's no good, the washer dryer's no good, but the urn,
Yeah, it's still there.
that's reusable.
God,
And now there's plenty of ashes. All right, Kelsey, let me give you a plug.
Okay.
Mark Your Territory, name of the new special, available on Hulu and YouTube.
Yes, thank you.
Come back anytime. Give Chad.
I would love to. Thank you so
my
much.
love.
God, I hope you get those appetizers. I'm really going to be thinking of you.
Why don't you put your keys up on the table? You wanted to. Why don't you put them on the table? You want to.
Yeah, maybe they ordered too fast and the guy misunderstood.
Put appetizer on the table.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Patrick Renna's going to be here right after this. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just a house or property. It's the location. It's the neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also schools, nearby parks, transportation options, all the above. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking about deep. That's right. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know, all in one place. Homes.com. Homes.com. We've done your homework. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bam! You know the song, right? They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and all the parts and knowledge you need to maintain and repair your automobile. Always been an O'Reilly guy. Used to go to the one out in North Hollywood when I was over there. Then I moved to La Crescenta. Went to the one up on Foothill. Still swing by there every once in a while because I'm a hands-on guy. So whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best off, they're friendly because some of those auto parts guys can be a little tough around the edges. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today, or you can visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam, this is Kevin from Georgia. Just wanted to know your thoughts on where all the debris will have to go in L.A. since there's so much of it. How will they handle all that? Thanks. Peace.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
It'll go to wherever the poor people live. You know, Sun Valley, Sunland, that's where all the dumps are. Well, that's how it works. You got to go find the cheap land and dump stuff on where the cheap land is, and the poor people live next to the cheap land. That's how it works.
You think it goes west, not east, like that? Like, isn't there? There's some stuff east there that's.
I've been to the dump, quite a few times in my life because I used to do construction, and the construction dumps, sort of out here where you dump debris when you're doing, would be Sunland, Sun Valley.
Eagle Rock, they have that dump in Eagle Rock.
Yeah, there was one up a hill, like in Eagle Rock, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I've said it a million times, but they shouldn't charge people to dump stuff. The reason there's junk everywhere in Los Angeles is because they charge you a lot of money. They charge the people that are dumping stuff are poor.
Yeah.
They charge them $200 to dump stuff, and they go, "Fuck it, I'll dump it in the street at night."
I've had a few people pick stuff up in my house, and I look at them and go, "That's not going to the dump, is it? That's going to my neighbor's backyard."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do construction work, you mean?
No,
or
but
like a sofa or something?
Yeah, when I'm doing, I built an ADU. I have a little construction background.
Yeah, you did.
Uh-oh.
ADU.
Oh, you just open up a can, pal.
Right? Yeah.
What do you mean, construction background, though?
Well, my stepdad is a general contractor, so I just kind of grew up around it, and I've just always been a handy guy, I got a tool set, and I know, right?
Tool set. You got a tool set?
I got a tool
what
set,
kind of
buddy.
tool set?
Kenner. Yeah. I mean, Makina.
Yeah.
No, it's it's good to know. I would argue that some skills, like home skills, like here's what I would say, and I don't think people like me, but I would say this. I would say it's good for a woman to have a couple of skills around the house that are in the feminine department. It's good. You should be able to make an omelet or some lasagna or something.
Sure.
Take care of a little business in that department. And by the same token, it's nice if her man can go clean the gutters or change a pane of glass if there's a broken window or something like that. I don't know why we have to frown upon that. Now we live in a world where no one knows how to do jack squat, and somehow we celebrate it. But it's like you're two people helpless sitting at home who have to call TaskRabbit for everything.
Well, it's true. And if the apocalypse happens, then we're all screwed.
Yeah.
We can't do anything.
You guys are.
Yeah, you look like a man.
I'm going to be like a mercenary.
Well, I definitely can fix a thing or two.
Yeah, apocalypse coming. I'm just going to eat everyone else.
I forgot to tell everybody, and there's even a picture of it, when I was yesterday up on the roof, speaking of the apocalypse, of my place, which I thought was untouched by the fire, I found a corner of my roof where the leaves were piled up and they were burned.
No.
So it actually got on my roof, set a fire onto my roof, and then burnt out in the corner. But there was charred.
Where are you?
In Malibu.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. Some guy dropped a package off in front of my house, and Mandy Moore went fucking apeshit on the guy.
Did you hear what happened to the guy? He died.
Oh, that's
Killed
what
himself.
I heard. He killed himself.
Yeah.
Well,
unfortunate.
I couldn't believe it.
Mandy Moore rats the guy out,
and he killed himself.
It gets to his supervisor.
Yeah.
His supervisor says, "We got to let you go
True
because
story.
she's very, she's a big star, and we would normally cut you loose, but
Lost
they cut him
everything.
loose. Wife miscarries.
No, that's not true.
Oh, that
was a subplot.
See with the internet.
But the man has
the
a
internet.
family.
I know.
The man has a family.
he does,
yeah, his services are on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start. There's a GoFundMe for it. But you're saying it's just folklore that she miscarried.
Yeah. There's always something extra.
Right. Oh, you know what? That's why I can't believe all the internet.
Yeah.
All right, but he killed himself.
You can believe almost everything.
And Mandy needs to know what she did to that man.
It's terrible.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, Mandy's a terrible person.
So, Patrick, obviously, Sandlot, best known for, but many other
Iconic movie that everyone loves.
Yes.
Man,
iconic.
what a weird thing to put on a man's shoulders, huh?
Right.
To be that character with the malos and all that. You know what I
lot
mean?
of pressure.
You get so many people yelling the lines from the movie, huh? Because I'm restraining myself from screaming them in your face.
I get it. I get it a good
What
amount.
are the iconic movies? Let's see if we can work this out.
Sure.
Okay. So, it's not Gone with the Wind or Citizen Kane. These aren't. We need movies like Goonies,
Sure,
which like capture something. Maybe Princess Bride,
absolutely.
And it's an age bracketed thing. Like, how old are you?
Totally
when did you see this? When did you see A Christmas Story?
Yeah. Sandlot, Goonies for sure.
My era was you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of Sandlot, Goonies in that department, but it's an interesting way to define a genre because we're not defining the best film, and we're not defining movies with the biggest stars or whatever, but the one that everyone kind of knows. I guess knowing the characters' names, maybe even more so than the actors' names.
Beloved, I think is the word you're looking for. Like we love. Like, it spoke to the adults of the generation, but mostly to the kids, and we grew with it. Every summer that was on,
but
it was
not
on.
necessarily Oscar. It's not.
Yeah,
not
it's
the
not Oscar, but
numbers,
you feel good about it. Like it feels it's oatmeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say
comfort food.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know
you love it.
You got to know like I would say like Pulp Fiction, I would go, John Travolta was great in that, but I wouldn't remember his character name like right off the top of my head.
That's interesting.
Vincent, yeah.
Oh.
But it would take a
I love
second.
that movie so much. It defined my life as a kid, too.
I would name
right.
Ving Rhames and stuff, but I would sort of not know the name.
I can name all the name of the Goonies characters, but not necessarily their real names, like Data and Chunks.
So I think that's one component of it, where you have the character names. And now we're getting into, I don't know, I'll find the definition of it, but there is a there's a category of music, and it escapes me. We used to talk about it all the time, and I'll figure it out here. It's a song that you really love, but you'd be embarrassed if somebody came in and you were listening to
Guilty
it.
pleasure.
But yeah, everyone loves it.
Oof.
Yeah,
I have a lot of those.
Mambo number 5?
No, that's just bad. That's just bad.
The thing is my favorite type of music is female power ballads.
Me too.
So it's probably like, what's that song from A Little Mermaid?
A whole new
Yeah,
wait.
that's it. You got A Whole New World. That's
I was
probably
thinking
my
more
guilty
like
pleasure.
Vixen.
Wait, which one?
There's female power ballad. All right, if you play Vixen,
Yeah, now I've done it again.
if you play
No, I don't know that.
Edge of a Broken Heart by Vixen, well, so you're talking more musical than rock. Oh, I hear power ballad. I picture like
I'm
80s,
sorry. Yeah,
80s
like
band
vocal.
or something.
No. Like, vocal, like Whitney Houston. Like, although I would never be embarrassed playing Whitney Houston.
Okay, here comes Vixen.
Here comes Vixen.
Here comes Vixen. My version of this song that sounds horrible, though. That's
the fun part?
That's the fun part. You know
Then
what I
you'll
mean?
really know.
Yeah, then we'll really know about Vixen. So I'm sorry. Where was that? Oh, by the way, the phrase was called a Tool tune. The definition is you would be listening in your car, but if you stopped at a red light, you would roll the window up so other people, like Vixen, Edge of a Broken Heart, I may be cranking that up, but if somebody pulled up next to me, I would roll the window up because I wouldn't want them to know I was digging a Tool tune. You know,
Yeah, I might roll up for that one.
You would roll up for Vixen.
Maybe. And I definitely for A Whole New World.
Yeah,
'Cause I blast
Whole New
that
World.
really loud. And maybe some tears start flowing. I'm not going to lie. You know?
Well, the seaweed is always greener.
Everything, yeah.
I was good friends with Sherry Stoner, who was a groundling, and then I met her at the Acme Theater, who was a cute little waifish, funny comedic actress who was the body model for Ariel.
Nice.
They needed to illustrate,
Sketch her out,
1991 or something. They needed to draw something that existed.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of interesting, right?
That is.
That's pretty interesting.
She was a writer. I think she still is. I mean, she worked, she was a comedian and stuff like that, but she had this little petite, little cute little
smelt a bit fishy
body. Yeah. And it worked. You got Edge of a Broken Heart live?
Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
Yep, we're doing it. We're in here.
Sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes it works. Let's see. Okay.
It's going to be shattered, our hopes and dreams.
Okay.
Tasty lick.
So far, so good.
Okay. They didn't do a lot of pyrotechnics because with that much hair and that much Aquanet. Okay, all right.
That's not bad.
Someone owes Vixen an apology. We'll wait till it gets to the chorus.
I mean, this is like really good.
Yeah, I want to do a workout montage right now. Training for a fight.
Oh, yeah. Up on the hi-hat back there.
Right?
I just found your two new favorite songs, bro.
I'm a big fan.
Hold on. There may be a dude in the corner. They may have put...
I don't
chick,
think
another
so.
chick. It's hard to tell in the 80s band.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, we're screwed.
Yeah.
The drummers chopped their hair off.
Apparently, you can be good looking and talented.
Yeah,
So,
they did it.
talent's
They
not
proved
good
it.
enough, boys. Sorry.
That's how we did it.
All right. So what were we talking about?
This guy wrote a children's book called A Little
that's
Slugger's
right.
Guide to the Unwritten Rules of Baseball.
That's right. Is that out as we speak?
It comes out February 25th.
All right, so it's coming. So it's
Coming
around
soon.
the corner.
You can
but you
pre-order it now.
pre-order it.
Yeah,
pre-order.
pre-order it.
Go to Amazon.
And there's like autographed copies for the first bunch.
They got you as a cartoon? I don't know. Yeah,
Right?
maybe. Yeah.
No, I'm in. Like, there's an
homage to the Ham character.
That's right. Yeah.
You go
the great Hambino.
Yes.
If you pre-order on Amazon, it'll land on your doorstep the day it is released. And speaking of Amazon, did you guys hear this whole thing with Mandy Moore?
You're not talking about the Mandy Moore thing, are you?
She made such a fuss online about this Amazon guy that he got, he got fired. Okay, but he killed himself.
Yeah,
he's a father too.
It's a shame.
Fired. And
the whole miscarriage thing, that was just smoking hokum. That didn't happen. That's
I'm
the
glad
internet.
I could come in here and set the record straight.
Yeah, because we wouldn't know.
You never would have known.
Well, also, I report the news.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't do fake news.
No, nothing.
And I don't do misinformation or disinformation. You see what I'm
100%
saying?
true,
So I want to get this Mandy Moore story straight. We got to keep it accurate
Yes.
now. All right. So you know what I am angry about with delivery guys? I started noticing walking around about a 7,000% uptick in bottles of piss thrown about the neighborhood. And I said, I came in here a couple years ago and I was like, how come every time I take a walk, I find a bottle of piss, like it's a drinking, it's a water bottle that some guy's pissed in and fucking chucked. Who is doing this? And then where was this 5 years ago? I didn't see bottles of piss like thrown around. And someone said, every single one of these delivery drivers,
that's what it is.
They're all out making the rounds. It's LA. You try to go in and you go to a gas station and ask the friendly gentleman behind the counter if you can use the commode.
Yeah,
you'll get yelled at. You can't. So there's no First off, we have a crazy homeless problem, right? So all the stores go bathroom out of order,
Totally.
or you need a code to get into the bathroom. Customers only have to purchase something. So these guys driving all day in a truck, drinking Monster energy drinks, and on a schedule, and in a society where there is no bathroom to use. You in LA, you go to Wisconsin, you can walk into a liquor store and go, "Hey man, I got to use the bathroom." They're right that way. Not in LA.
No.
Mm-hmm. So now what? Piss in the bottle. Now your piss bottle's rolling around your cube truck.
Yeah.
And you swing in front of Mandy Moore's in-laws place and you put that fire out.
Yeah.
You chuck the bottle, and thus I find the bottle of piss when I'm
It's
walking.
not just delivery guys. I had a really close friend of mine that was a private investigator, and he would sit in his car and spy on people. He did the same shit.
You have to piss in a bottle.
Gatorade bottles.
Really?
So we'd get in
big
and
mouth.
be like, don't drink that. That's
Right.
Guys, wait up. I'm finishing.
Oh, yeah. Go
you're
for it.
telling me. Gatorade's got a big berth, got a big mouth.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
stuff.
the little Coke bottles are, even if you're not
just shove it in there with your thumb like a man. Keep
back to my
driving
children's
60 miles an hour.
So you had a friend who was a PI.
Yeah, and he did that.
All day long,
He'd sitting there, blacked out windows, shade in front of the car, it was for like insurance cases. So he just
all day long waiting for you to look like you got too much of a spry step
That's
there.
right, to lift something a little too heavy for that back.
Interesting.
And
So
he'd pee in the Gatorade bottles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love those. I love stories when the guy claims his back's too messed up to work at his desk job, but then they show him at the rodeo.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "Oh,
The
we got
stuff he would
film of you at the
find-
rodeo."
Oh, he would catch these guys like lifting coolers over their head.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like you just go home and you just catch them doing all sorts of stuff.
What I never got with like modern day work, but maybe it's because I'm a dick, but I used to work construction, and there was such a thing as you being too fucked up to get up on the roof and like haul pieces of plywood up there and nail it off or whatever. Once we made it inside of the office with the air conditioning and the cubicle and the ergonomically designed chair, and then you have people going like, "Yeah, I'm not going to make it in today." I'd be like, "What's up?" And they go, "Oh, man, I'm just not feeling good." You know, and I go, "What are you going to do?" I'm just going to sit home, watch TV, maybe play some video games, maybe rub one out, watch some YouPorn. I'm like, well, what are you doing here that's so different than you drive an automatic? You can come and sit here. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You're sitting.
Yeah.
If you're in a fetal position on your bathroom floor, that's one thing. But if you're just sitting, like, Whose back is too fucked up that they can't do data entry is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Construction, it's legit.
Right.
Yeah, you're 30
So your
floors
friend would go...
He'd catch him.
He'd catch him.
He'd catch
Have
him.
his video camera?
Almost 1 for 1. Yeah, he'd have the little spy camera and catch him. It was
Because
crazy.
they would know who was shady, right? He wouldn't go after everyone.
Probably not. You're probably right. Like they would go, this seems fishy, or hear a rumor or something, and they had a list, and they go catch him. Yeah.
Now, would he drink a certain kind of Gatorade so as to never be confused?
Both of them have a lot of electrolytes,
Like a
in 'em,
wild
to
strawberry
be
or
fair.
something, so he never got confused.
Yeah,
you know,
I
because you
think
drink.
you don't go lemon lime. That's
You go
right.
lemon lime, you can get confused.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
And now, was he like a gun for hire? Because I used to watch a lot of PI shows growing up, but I never saw a guy sitting in a car pissing into a bottle. They were always running someone down, at the loading dock or something.
No, it wasn't like Dog the Bounty Hunter. It wasn't that.
I was thinking more Dan Tana.
Yeah, sure. No, he was
Vegas.
It wasn't. I think he had some crazy high speed chases.
Really?
Yeah, because he would tail him and they wouldn't know, and if he had to blow a red light, he did some crazy stuff, but nothing much more.
He never slid across the hood of his car or anything?
Sure.
Yelled no time for backup?
Yeah, he did that.
He did that?
Yeah,
wow, I'm going to meet this cat. I bet he had a leather vest.
Yeah, he was hardcore.
Yeah, there could never be no bigger chasm than what, like when you see a show on TV growing up, like they had shows like Emergency and Chips, stuff like that. And, it wasn't all international jewel thievery and stuff, but if you signed up to be a chip, you'd get a motorcycle and a gun and a badge and you'd be tooling along. And if you... Emergency, they were like paramedic firefighters, and you get a rig and some guy'd get in a motorcycle accident, you'd patch him up. And you sort of did what they did on the show, but PI shows were all dudes betting hot chicks and getting into foot chases and, shooting a rope and a sandbag would land on the guy's head. And real PI stuff is you sit in a car and piss into a Gatorade bottle, right?
You're in an office, you get in the car, you chase down people.
Burt Reynolds can't piss in Gatorade.
Boring as shit, right?
It probably is. Yeah.
Not what you see on TV.
No. You're looking at the internet trying to find people. You're a glorified nerd.
Yeah. No, man. Dan Tana, Vegas. That was Robert Urich,
Magnum
man.
PI.
Magnum, and these guys had a life.
Hot in Hawaii. Unbelievable.
Yeah. They drove cool cars.
Yeah.
Women loved them.
Yep. No, this is not my guy.
Not your guy. Okay.
Actually, funny enough, he is a really good-looking guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually is.
He's squandering his looks, sitting in the car, pissing a bottle all day.
Yeah. He actually moved to Hawaii, too. So
Did he?
Yeah, he lived in Hawaii.
He get a Ferrari 308,
I don't
grow a
know.
mustache.
Yeah, I gotta check
How's
him
his
out.
chest hair situation?
None. It's perfect.
That's a shame.
Oh, you like that? Right. Yeah.
Did you watch all those? I mean, you're younger than I am, but did you grow up on those kinds of shows and see the what were your
Magnum
shows
PI
growing
was
up?
like
You're a Magnum PI
I was
guy.
Magnum PI. What shows were me? I mean, I was coming like Goonies is my Sandlot for sure. So that's like half a generation earlier.
Knight Rider, you down with the A-Team?
Oh yeah, Knight Rider, A-Team for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm A-Team all the way.
I'm A-Team.
What was that? Late 80s?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was.
And I grew up in the South. Dukes of Hazzard. What's up? Yeah.
That's a little before me, but not
They had
much.
reruns.
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
reruns for me. Yeah.
I watched a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I loved on Knight Rider when his evil twin showed up.
Yeah.
Hasselhoff's
Oh,
evil
yeah,
twin.
that's right.
I love any twin break-off
Yeah.
thing.
It's great.
I'm
Yeah,
into
those
it,
were
too.
amazing. Classic.
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't hold up.
Well, they don't, but then maybe they do. They
Sure.
like come
Also.
around like some sort of weird, shitty, like some food that you ate when you were 11 that you wouldn't eat when you're 30, but then you realize you find it again later on in life.
Sure.
Because it brings back something. Yeah, the evil twin. It's funny because you knew it was Hasselhoff, because you knew he couldn't act either, like the evil twin guy. All they'd have to do is put a goatee on you.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Once you got a goatee, you became evil twin. It was super
Goatee
easy
and a
to do.
cigarette.
Yeah. And to get a cigarette and a goatee, and that was it. And you drive. I think he drove a semi truck or whatever.
Yeah.
But once you got the goatee and once you got the cigarette, then we knew you were evil.
Here he comes. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? They don't allow anyone to smoke on TV now, but back then we knew who was evil.
Yeah.
By the smokers.
A trope as old as time.
How are we supposed to know now?
Yeah.
Oh, we have
This is more nuanced.
We have a video of
No.
Evil Hasselhoff.
That is evil Hasselhoff. Look at that. You can see the goatee in the shadow.
Yeah, evil Hasselhoff. Oh, look at the eyes. Oh, that's evil Hasselhoff.
What about the rockets?
They're ready for installation.
Proceed.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, choker,
Michael Knight.
soul patch,
It's not
He's a
even really a
living-
goatee.
5,000-yard stare.
Breathing insult to my existence.
That's acting, man. That's what dudes act. Good act. Oh, he's driving a killer semi-truck. Kit. That's the greatest acting of all time.
His hair's a little more slicked back.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Kit.
Tells me how to proceed with red bluff. My mother doesn't, and you don't.
See,
Without me, you'd still be in the bush.
Oh.
dodging spears.
Well, that was racist.
You'll still be rotten in jail.
He's reaching out to the black community. He's got a gun that shoots. He's got a cane that shoots. Oh, he's an earring.
Yeah, he does have an earring.
He's making sweet love to the women, too.
Now you are alone.
He's gonna bet the 80s chick. Evil ass.
By the way, sorry to hear about Ron.
What did you say?
Ron, the Amazon driver. Took his own life. His name was Ron. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did? Oh, you read about it?
I read about it. I can't, yeah.
What's the meaning of this? I'll take that. Hello, Goth. This is kidnapping.
It is acting. Hasselhoff has never been better.
Listen, we are all riveted. This sucked us
I
in.
watched
You're
the
right.
shit out of
This holds
this.
up.
All day.
This holds up.
The whole podcast should just be this.
Yeah, I'm going to start an Evil Hasselhoff podcast.
Yes.
Oh, here
make it?
comes the stunt.
Is he
It's a
gonna
big
make it?
stunt. He's got to jump. Whoa. Oh, is he attacking himself? Who's driving that car? Oh, he knocked himself out? Okay, we can't do this anymore. But it's too good. You guys have to watch Evil Hasselhoff. You see the way he acts? It's like a different dude with a fake mustache, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
I can't
Evil.
grow a beard, so there's no bad guy.
Oh, man, you could
Sucks.
never play evil you.
Never.
I'm just walking around evil
Yeah,
me.
you're evil. Yeah.
I think that they probably stuck that mustache on him because he had to toggle back
right.
and forth
You're
between.
right.
I mean, you know how the business
You're right.
works. I shouldn't
What
have
was
to
I
tell you
thinking?
how the
We were
business
back.
works. You know, you know the business.
I do. You're right.
When did Sandlot come about? What? Where?
how?
And how for you?
Well, it came out in '93, but we filmed it in '92, and I had just moved to LA actually from Boston, so it was the first job.
Oh wow!
I had just moved.
First job.
I did a little thing on Nickelodeon. That was my first audition, like one little episode, and then my second audition was
Episode of what?
Salute Your Shorts. You
Oh,
know that?
I love that show.
Yeah.
Camp Bonavana.
That's right.
We hold you in our heart.
Yeah, you got it.
Really? I don't know.
And
That
when
one.
I think about you,
It makes
me want to fart.
There it is.
Did they say fart?
They
yeah,
do.
they say fart. But that was
Oh,
that was
interesting.
1992. You could say fart.
Yeah,
then.
that was the era, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was 2 for 2. I did my first 2 auditions.
Sick.
I didn't taste rejection until my late teens.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got to be heavy though. You play this iconic character, and then just the business, just you know what I mean. They see
Yeah.
you as the one thing, so it's difficult.
Yeah, it's been interesting for sure, and growing up, luckily I've been able to just have that as my career. But it's there's definitely been struggles with that, and
But
over
you're
the
talking
years.
to the bully beatdown guy. Come on, it's
you
like
go.
a
There you
weird thing when you're in something that's people crystallize in their. You know, it's hard to break out of that.
Trying to get them to see other things. Yeah.
See.
It's hard. it happens, and there's, Johnny Depp was on 21 Jump Street, he figured it out. But it does. It is a blessing and a curse. And then it's like you can ask all the Brady kids, they just think, oh, everyone thinks of us as, Brady kids. So it's like you want it, but then it's something you have to negotiate and deal with. And then later on, some people resent it, and then at some point they come around with it, and they actually then find it and embrace it again.
Yeah, I think that's what you nailed it. You have to embrace it. Yeah, it just depends how you want to look at it. If you want it to mess you up and hate it, then it's going to.
I was telling this to Kimmel because he's only going to be known as the Man Show guy.
Yeah,
and I said to him, just embrace it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just learn to appreciate it.
I actually didn't even know who you were talking about, but then when you said Man Show,
the Man Show guy,
the guy,
right? The other dude,
the other dude,
right?
Yeah.
He was like trying to do, I don't know, talk show stuff or like hosty stuff, like nighttime.
Is he still in the business? What does he do?
I don't know. I think he's on YouTube.
He killed himself.
I think he's on YouTube.
With the driver. That's what I heard, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to reach out to him because every time I talk to him, every time I say hi, he asks to borrow money, so it's kind of weird, It's weird, I don't want to say no, but it's like, hey, dude, I saved my money from back then. I don't know what you've been doing.
Yeah, but you got to help a guy out.
Well, that's the way I felt the first few times, but after, not
it's too much.
I can absorb it because of where I put myself.
All right.
See what I'm saying?
Jimmy, what's his last name? Kimmel? Call me, I'll help you out.
Yeah, help me out. Yeah. All right, Patrick, let's give a plug to the book. A Little Slugger's Guide to the Unwritten Rules of Baseball and Life.
Yeah.
Pre-order it.
Amazon. Yeah. There's other places, but all we've been talking about is Amazon.
Right.
So let's just go there.
Pre-order that. What else should I plug for you? I know you're doing a lot of really cool videos.
Social media. I just started a production company too called Hambino Media.
So, you did?
Yeah. I've been working kind of behind the camera for the past few years. And so I'm partnered with a marketing company and I do all the video and media and commercials for them. So I've been producing a lot for the past 4 years.
So where can people go if they want to check out some of that stuff?
Well, we just launched it, hambinomedia.com, and we'll have the site up in a few days. But I'm excited because it's different on the other side, but it's all I've known for 30 years. This industry, like my college was on set, so to be able to still be able to do it, and I act as well, but I find an enjoyment in taking all of that education and putting it into just the whole project,
Yeah, it is interesting, and I had the thought earlier today for some reason where you sort of realize, oh, you have a skill, like a tangible skill where you go, cut that, put a little more head on that, let that breathe a little or speed that up a little, or it'd be funnier if you do this. And you just start talking, and then you're like, what do I know this stuff from? Yeah. And then there's no degree and there's no plaque and there's no certificate. You just go, oh, shit, I've been doing this stuff for 30 years. You start to...
Yeah.
But you would do that with carpentry or shoeing horses.
Yeah.
You just know what you're doing at a certain point. This is the same.
I mean, there's something, too, about construction when they've been doing it so long and they're so good at it, like a carpenter or something like that. But it is just... you do it for so long, you get good at it. And it's the same with acting and producing and movie making.
Yeah, it's just invisible.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be at the End, which is a fun rock and roll kind of club in Torrance, Saturday, doing 2 shows over there. And I'll be in San Luis Obispo, Monterey, Napa. I'm doing stand-up shows all over the place. So you can go to AdamCarolla.com for all the info. Kelsey's stand-up special, Mark Your Territory, is available as we speak now on YouTube. And Patrick, very funny videos. I guess they're on Instagram or TikTok. I'm trying to think where I was watching those.
Yeah, I do a lot on Instagram and TikTok.
Watch those. I think you'll get a laugh. Until next time, it's Adam for Patrick and Kelsey and Mayhem saying mahalo.